Welcome to Not Silent podcast, where we amplify voices of women who refuse to be silent. I am your host, Arbana Xharra, and today I'm honored to have as a guest Benafsha Yaqoobi. Born visually impaired, she has transformed her personal experience into fighting for women rights, children from Afghanistan. She lives in exile since Taliban came to power in 2021. She continues her fight for the Afghan women and girls. Benafsha, welcome.
Thank you. It's a privilege and honor being with you and talking with those who are seeing and hearing us.
You've been internationally awarded BBC 100 Women Honoree, then International Woman of Courage Award by the U.S. Department of State. You've lived in the different eras in the Afghanistan, and now you live in London, which you continue to fight for the women and girls in Afghanistan, even when the world has decided to remain silent. I would like to first go back to your childhood a little bit. So, was there a moment when you realized you experienced the world differently?
Um, my childhood has a different story, Arbana. So unfortunately, I'm a war child. While I was a young child, that was the first Taliban takeover, and the Afghanistan very difficult time like today's. So my family had to immigrate, and they went to Iran. So my childhood and my teenage past like that, where there I couldn't go to school, where that I was deprived from my education right. So from that time, if I say my fight was started, but at that time my family, my mom and dad, specifically my mom was with me, and she tried to help me with that fight, and my mom was my big arm there at that time. I think from that time I saw the world differently for me as a girl, as an Afghan girl, as a person who was in Iran but was not allowed for her to go to school just because being an Afghan.
So, how old were you when you left Iran and you were,
We left Afghanistan and we went to Iran.
yeah, how old were you when you left?
Oh, I was a child going to. I wanted to go to school, but I couldn't go. They didn't let me. So eventually, they just allowed me to continue my education as a person who just go to school and take an exam. That's all, nothing else. And I had to somehow study at home and then go to the school for my exams. Just then later than that, we found an organization named White Cane. That organization worked for people with vision impairments. So that organization offered me some rehabilitation services and some educational programs, which was then like the school's books was included. And then they helped me and they provided me one assistant, and my mom helped me at home. And after that I wanted to go to university, so that time was another difficult time for me. So I went to university using the Afghanistan government scholarship at that time, because at that time we were at the Republic area. So the Afghanistan government gave me that scholarship to continue my education in Iran. So I went to Xharra University in Tehran, and I continued my education till my bachelor degrees in Persian literature.
Can you share with us challenges of the Afghan women, girls, and children, especially those with disabilities, are facing in today's Afghanistan under the Taliban regime?
Unfortunately, women and girls with disability, they're suffering a lot, and they're suffering from multiple discrimination based on their gender and based on their disability. And unfortunately, different types of disability, they are suffering differently. And so we have we already made a report which we will launch it just maybe after a while, after just maybe we launch it very soon. So within that report, which we saw, unfortunately, lots of women and girls are more disappointed. They do not have access to their health rights because of lack of supports in Afghanistan, and because of the low economic situation, and because of this, as I mentioned, there is no law and rule, and unfortunately Taliban are not committed to the Convention of the Rights of People with Disability, so they do not have access to education, and if we go to access to justice, the situation became more worse. So unfortunately we are experiencing very dark days and nights. There is gender apartheid and gender persecution going on.
Can you share with us a moment or your experience facing discrimination?
I myself in my life, to be honest, since I have a good family, which so they always try to respect me and they help me a lot, and I didn't face any discrimination in my family at home with my sibling and my mom and dad. Uh, but unfortunately, discrimination is everywhere for a person with disability in different countries within different levels. I remember one day I wanted to go somewhere to, prove my documents, my degrees. At that time, the person who wanted to see my degrees, he just said, "Oh," and they said, "Oh, I don't know, I can't accept this because how can a person with vision impairment have two master degrees at the same very close years?" I didn't want to be silent.
So 1 in every 6 Afghans live with disability. So I want to know, what does this reality look like on the ground beyond the statistics?
Um, Unfortunately, Afghanistan has a big amount of people with disability. Large people are living with disability. Since there's different reasons for that. One is the conflict and war. You know, it's more than 40 years, 47 years that we have conflict and war in Afghanistan. So this war caused disability. And then next to that, we have some genetic caused disability. Because of that, we have lots of children with disability who are there. And the other thing is that because there is no good situation for women who are pregnant, and while they are pregnant, they are suffering from different sicknesses and diseases. These kind of diseases cause their children to be disabled. And then beside that, there is still, Afghanistan is one of the countries where still the polio disability is there, although they are saying that they are doing the vaccination, but still people can be disabled because of this lack of this polio vaccine.
So why you have decided to leave Afghanistan and go and live in London?
That was not a decision. That I haven't decided. I didn't decide to leave my country. That was not a choice. That was not a decision. That was kind of obligatory leaving Afghanistan.
What happened?
So after Taliban takeover in 15th of August, since I was a human and I am a human rights activist and human rights defender, there was no space for me to continue my work and my education, and Afghanistan became a very dangerous place for me. Because of that, the UK government evacuated me, and I had to leave my country without any decision, without knowing where I'm going and what I will do and how will be my future.
Can you share a little bit your experience with us, as you left with your husband, right?
Yes.
Who is also visually impaired.
Yeah.
How was the journey to London, leaving and escaping from Afghanistan?
So, to be honest, Arbana, that journey was not a normal journey because it happened within a special op, and I'm not able to share with you lots of details regarding that day. But the day we wanted to leave the country, I thought I died. One thing I'm gonna say you, I thought I died, and it was just my body who wanted to leave the country and go to another place, which was really unknown for me and my partner. But here in UK, I remember well while we were there at the hotel for a while, and then we came to our home. So I thought I burned again, and I was a little child, and I had to start from somewhere, and I had to continue my life. Although I was not a child, and I'm not a child, but I think that was second another stage of my life. It is not easy leaving the country at this age, going somewhere and starting your life from somewhere that you don't know what is waiting for you. What do you gonna do? Where do you gonna go? It was not just me. All people who were there, people with disability, people without disability, or activists, or people who love Afghanistan like me, All of us were like that because it was a big shock for all of us.
You have your family back there?
At that time, yeah, I had, but nowadays, no.
What did exile feel like for you?
So nowadays, I'm getting used to that, and I'm getting more familiar since I have some friends here. I have some Afghan friends here, some people who are from UK. So here is my second home. But as you have the experience, first days, first months, and first year is not easy. In 2021, I didn't understand. I said I didn't understand what are we doing, why it happened, and every day I was waiting. I was thinking with myself, okay, next month we may go back home. Next week we may go back home. Next day we may go back home. But unfortunately, till now we are here from 2021 till now. So situation didn't change, and still we are here, and we have to continue our life in exile, and we don't know how the future will be for all of us.
You live in exile, but you continue to fight for Afghan women and girls and
This
children.
is my job. This is small thing that I can do that.
What are the main concern that you have right now, especially with having withdrawn the U.S. troops since 2021 and Taliban's being in power? Is there any message that you have for international community?
So I'm just trying to say, although international community most of the time they are saying, okay, there is no unity between people of Afghanistan, and then um, if we go to human rights value and democracy values, they are saying, okay, every country has their own traditions, this and that, but things that Taliban are doing, it's not it's not just against human rights, international human rights values. It's against Afghan tradition. It's against even they're saying that they are Muslim and they are practicing Islam, but even most of things that they are doing is against Islam. And then I'm trying to say, while the countries became a very safe home for terrorists, so always it's a threat that these kind of terrorists and the terrorist issues attacks will go to other parts of the countries. Although we as an Afghan people, we are suffering, I know. We as an Afghan women, we are suffering. But these kind of threat will go everywhere in the world. So I think if international society are silent and they want to be silent, they want to remain silent against these humanity crimes which is happening nowadays in Afghanistan and is ongoing, unfortunately, all it's a crime. It's a crime.
You mentioned something very important that what Talibans are doing, it's not religion and it's not Islam, but they are using a religion not to be questioned of what they are doing. But we can see from the reports that women and girls are the most attacked by them.
There is, crimes happening, crimes against humanity. Women and girls in Afghanistan suffering a lot, and those who are with vulnerability, they are suffering more. For example, if you are in a family where there are, for example, six children, one of them is a girl and with disability, and the family economic situation is too bad low. They are poor. So if they have any food, they are trying to feed their children who are without disability. If they want to take their children to hospital, the girl and with disability and the woman with disability is not priority for them. Unfortunately, women and girls with disability in different parts of the country, they are suffering a lot and they are facing multiple discrimination.
You mentioned within the family, so which means they are also discriminated within their family.
But what is the cause? The cause is that after Taliban takeover, the economic situation is too bad in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, people they don't have a job. Most of them are unemployed, and the women and girls with disability, if we go and speak regarding these people, so those who didn't have access to education didn't have. but at least most of them or some of them had access to education. They had their work, they had their jobs. We have people with disability, women and girls with disability who work in governmental organizations, but nowadays all of them are at home. They do not have anywhere to go, and there is no any organization for them to complain against things that's happening to them. So because of that, people with disability are suffering a lot, starting from their family. So we try to advocate a lot, and we say there in Afghanistan uh, we need food for those who have different types of disability. We need rehabilitation. We need psychosocial support. But unfortunately, uh, most people they are saying okay yes, but we don't know what after and what next.
Uh, what is your message to Afghan girls with disabilities who feel forgotten?
So I think we should still stand. We should still continue our fight, and then we shouldn't lose our hope because this is women and girls, disabled or non-disabled, from rural and city area, traditional and women who looks a bit modern. We all of us fighting against this situation, and because of that, Taliban are suffering from women and girls fight against them. So we need to continue, keep up our hope, stand firm and fluent. We will be successful.
I would like just a little bit of details because uh, in some parts of the world, in Middle East, also in the Balkans, uh, having a disabled kid, there were families that would even hide their children. They would not walk in the street with them. So it was like a shame. How it is in Afghanistan culturally.
In Afghanistan, so people who are educated and they are in a higher social class and they are in a bit higher economic class, so they may treat a bit better with people with disability. But the people, if you go a bit lower to rural area, to a bit further area, and with lower social class and social and economic class, and then the people who don't know about disability and who didn't accept that disability is just a human like variety. This is nothing very. It's not something that we feel shame about it. Unfortunately, they feel shame, and then most of them they like to hide their children with disability.
Can you share with us a little bit what your organization Rahyab doing right now?
So the Rahyab organization established in 2008 and started work from 2010 in Afghanistan. Our work from the first day was advocacy about rights, different rights of people with disability, raising awareness about people with disability, and rehabilitation and education for people with visual impairment and those who have multiple disability. They cannot go to any classes and any education like circles. They're just at home. And then we are doing some other events for them, online events. We have some parents meeting. We have our pilot programs inside the country, and beside that, we are busy with as I mentioned, we prepared a report regarding the human rights situation of people with disability after 2021.
You work with children, right? Also back home. So how are you in contact with them, those that you've been working closely after you left Afghanistan?
That was really difficult. That's another wound in my mind and in my heart, which was really difficult. It's not easy for any of us to lose and to get far from people who you love them and who you're enjoying with them. When I worked in Afghanistan out of Rahyab, when I got more tired and I got exhausted and annoyed from different things, then I said, okay, let me go to Rahyab and see the children. That would make me happy. And it happened always. So now I'm far from them, but still we are in contact with them and we are working with them, but online.
Do you feel that there is still international interest on supporting your cause and your mission?
Should be interest, but I'm not sure, maybe they are saying that they are busy with other things and they're showing less interest, but we are trying to say they are human beings. They are there and they need help. They are vulnerable groups and they are there waiting for the hand who can help them and assist them to have a better life. And they deserve to have the, good life. Women of Afghanistan, girls of Afghanistan, they deserve to have a life with freedom like all women and girls in all over the world.
Do they still have hope or look towards Western countries for help and better days?
It depends. It depends which kind of people you are talking with. Some people they have hopes, but some people they are more broken, and even it's difficult for them to be hopeful.
What is one sound or thing that you miss most from Afghanistan?
All Afghanistan, starting from dust.
Uh, Benafsha Yaqoobi's story is a powerful reminder that you can also live in exile and raise your voice for Voiceless. Thank you so much, Benafsha. I was really honored to have you as a guest in my podcast, and to all our listeners. If you should share this story to let people know, to let Western people know that we have courageous women that are not stopping their fight for freedom and for women rights across the world. Thank you so much, Benafsha.
Thank you, Arbana, for having me, and thank you for listening to me. And I wish you all the best forever.